Wildlife Reserve Singapore horrified many when it cancelled its Halloween event at the Night Safari just 2 weeks before it was scheduled to launch. But 3 other major attractions here are pulling all the stops to make theirs work. For the first time, Universal Studios Singapore and Singapore Flyer have jumped on the Halloween bandwagon with Horror Nights and Fright Fest, respectively. Meanwhile, Sentosa's Spectacular is into its 3rd successful year. Previously held at 3 venues on the island, the Spectacular is expanding to 6 locations to include the Butterfly Park, 4D Matrix and Cable Car Museum. When Isabella Loh, the new CEO of Wildlife Reserve Singapore, ex Night Safari's Halloween special, she cited feedback that Halloween had nothing to do with animal conservation. She plans to replace the Scare Fest with more family-friendly, Asian-themed Deepavali festivities. However, Universal Studios Singapore, Sentosa and the Singapore Flyer say they plan to put an Asian spin on their Halloween event.
We have, for example, a Peranakan house, a Peranakan haunted house that we're building from scratch, and that gives it kind of a more Asian mood to it. But again, I think a lot of festivities do not stem from Asian roots as well. For Halloween, for example, I think it's just an occasion for people to come and enjoy, and it is the only festivity, the only celebration that has a little bit of the horror theme in it, and Asians being extremely open to horror films. For example, the best and the scariest horror movies are now made in Asia. The popular images of Singapore at Sentosa will see its Asian wax figures turned into props to scare the daylights out of visitors.
We are pretty much focused on the Asian horror. For example, we have the folktale of the past Asian stories. Then from there, they will twist it to make it fiction. So like for example, you will see for the last year's what we have done was that a Malay village is the theme. So based on that, we twisted the story so that it links to certain aspects of the event.
Over at the Singapore Flyer, its verdant rainforest will be turned into a hiding place for Asian ghosts.
The theme is Oriental. We're using authentic cultural props from the Chinese to the Malay to the Japanese in different zones. So every one of them have their unique scare tactics.
Even though Halloween is a Western tradition, Singaporeans have no qualms about its growing popularity here.
I mean, the world is coming together already. So what is really Asian, what is really Western, everything's mixing.
I mean, okay, since Singapore developing and we have some Western culture already. So why not have a go?
But Singapore is it's globalized, so I don't think it's a big deal.
Universal Studios Singapore, Sentosa and the Singapore Flyer agree that Halloween may not be the best time for a family gathering. But they say they already have many family-friendly events on other occasions such as Chinese New Year and National Day. Universal Studios Fright Fest and Sentosa's Spectacular impose an age limit of 13 and 15 respectively. Indeed, Halloween parties may not be for the young and faint-hearted, but for the 17 Polytechnic students who were involved in organising the doomed Night Safari event, it was a nightmare come true. They were told just 2 weeks before the event was scheduled to start that it had been cancelled. In the next clip, we speak to another group of Polytechnic students who are involved in Sentosa's Spectacular event.